Hello there! Today, I shall teach you about radicals, specifically the parts of a radical and how to simplify radical expressions. There are three main parts inside the radical. Those are the index, the radical sign, and the radicand. The index is the small number to the left of our radical sign, and the radical sign which looks similar to a check mark. And then the radicand is the number within the radical sign. In the previous years, you may have learned the rules of exponents for products of powers. For all positive integers, a and b, x raised to a times x raised to b is equals to x raised to a plus b. So, you may simplify 3 squared times 3 cubed is equals to 3 squared plus cubed. Radicals are not restricted to square roots. The symbol, the nth root of x, is used to indicate that the principal nth root of x. Thus, we can have cube roots, fourth roots, and so on. A radical expression is said to be in its simplest form when the following conditions are satisfied. Number 1. Its radicand is the smallest possible integer and doesn't contain a perfect nth factor other than 1 in itself. Number 2. Its denominator has no radicals and the index of its radicals has been reduced. And to simplify radicals, we factor its radicand into factors whose powers are multiple of the index. For example, the square root of 63 can be factored into the square root of 9 times 7. 9 contains 2 3's, so we can factor that into the square root of 3 squared times 7. Since this is a square root, we move the 3 outside and leave the 7 inside. Let's move on to simplifying radicals by rationalizing the denominator. To simplify an expression containing radicals in the denominator, like the square root of 2 and the cube root of 4, means to rewrite the fraction with a rational number in the denominator. This is called rationalizing. You can rationalize by multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by a radical that makes the denominator rational. Here we have an example. We multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the square root of 5xy to make it rationalized. So, this is 3 the square root of 5xy all over 5xy. Multiplying the numerator and the denominator by 5xy doesn't change its given since it's the same as multiplying it by 1 because the square root of 5xy over the square root of 5xy is equals to 1. Lastly, we can simplify radicals by reducing the index if possible. For example, the 10th root of a raised to 5. We can rewrite it as a fractional exponent. So, this will be a raised to 5 all over 10. And then we can reduce the exponent. So, this will be a raised to 1/2. And then we just simply rewrite it in radical form. So this turns into the square root of a. We are done with the tutorial. I hope that you learned something new.